with Asheville cash buyers, and just doing a quick presentation on 3 questions to ask yourself when selling your home. A lot of these questions are going to be specific to, specifically to the Asheville Hendersonville area or North Carolina, as some of these things are on a state-by-state basis. In general, though, no matter where you're watching this from or where you're at, this is going to be important information, and it's at least going to be a very good starting point if you're thinking about, or if you are wanting to sell a property or your home, kind of what's a good way to approach this. Let's go ahead and get into it. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, AshevilleCashBuyers.com, or give us a call, 828-581-9316. All right, so first question that is very important is, what timeline are you on? Depending on why you're selling or what stage of your life that you are in regards to selling, sometimes there's going to be a time constraint, sometimes there's not. I'm just going to bring up a couple of the things that I've found are common questions or common issues that come with selling. Just one of the things, the school calendars, if there are kids that are involved, if you do have children, you're transferring them from one school district to another, or you're wanting to sell in between semesters or in between school years, you want to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to get the house on the market or to contact somebody who's going to buy the house, and that there's enough time for them to close and allow you to move before the school year either starts or ends, depending on your situation. The other common one is, if you're in the process of looking at another house or at another property, you want to make sure that if you receive an offer, that they're going to be able to close quick enough so that you can go ahead and turn around and buy the other house or close on the other house that you're interested in. And this is just a stat to give you an idea. Here in the Asheville area, houses that are listed between $0 and $500,000 are taking an average of 44 days to sell. That's as of October 31st of 2016. If you're seeing this, say it's 2017 or a couple months from now, whatever the case may be, feel free to reach out to us or reach out to whatever agent you're thinking about or wanting to work with, and they can give you an updated stat as far as what's the average days on market or what's the average length a house is taken to go from sale to close. All right, so question number 2 is, how much do you want to spend? Sometimes people get caught off guard or are surprised that selling a house actually does have costs involved as well. The most any sale is going to have are closing costs, the attorney fees, and taxes. That's what it's going to take for the attorney to prepare the seller side of the equation. In my experience, unless there's anything too crazy going on with the paperwork, $400 to $600 is a fair estimate. You want to make sure that you reach out to whatever attorney you're wanting to work on to get a definitive number and a fair estimate on that. In addition to that is, you're going to have taxes associated with the sale. Sometimes if your mortgage payment includes your taxes, that's you've already been paying for those, so you wouldn't have that reflected at the time of the sale. If you decide to work with an agent, you're going to have to obviously make sure that they get paid for the work that they do for you. And that's going to be a commission. Typically, commission is about 6% of whatever the sale price is. So just keep that in mind when you go to sell. If you're selling a $100,000 house and you get $100,000 for it, you're going to be paying approximately $6,000 in commissions. Part of the sale process as well is you're wanting to sell a house that's livable. So you're going to have to make some basic repairs. A lot of times those repairs are going to be found in updating the bathroom, kitchen, maybe the electrical, the plumbing, the roof, etc. And so just make sure you got a little bit of money ready to make some basic repairs to the house. In addition to that is, once you're in negotiation, it's very typical for a buyer to ask for a concession. Maybe they don't like the paint on the wall, or some trees need to be trimmed. And these are a lot of times things that aren't necessarily required for somebody to move in, but it's more of something that somebody would like. And so you can, create the concession, you give them a little bit of an additional discount at closing. So, as you're going ready to sell, just make sure you're aware that it is going to cost a little bit, there is going to be a cost associated with selling. So brings us to our last and most important question is, what's your bottom dollar? Knowing what that is very important, especially as you go into a negotiation with a prospective buyer. You want to know what you're able to say yes to, and at what point, you know, you're going to walk away from the negotiations. Part of that process is knowing what your payoff amount is. So make sure you get, you know, you reach out to your mortgage company, you get a payoff. Hopefully you're able to extend that at minimum of 30 days as far as the payoff amount. Talk to your real estate agent, talk to the attorney you're going to work with, get an idea of what the estimated costs are for their services, commission, closing costs, etc. And then once you have that number, then you can go into a negotiation confident with what you're asking for, when you're willing to walk away, when you're not willing to walk away. Once you get those 3 questions answered, you get to go ahead and decide how and when you're going to sell. You know, talk to an agent. The really good ones, they're worth their weight in gold. Here in Asheville, we have a lot of good agents to pick from, and you decide to work with one. You know, make sure you get a couple of referrals. Find an agent that you think you're going to be able to have a good chemistry with, and that you enjoy their style of communication. On top of that, you know, you can also sell on the MLS. If you decide to just do paid listing, you don't pay for an agent, but you just pay a one-time fee to get your property onto the MLS. The MLS stands for the Multiple Listing Service, by the way. You can also sell it FSBO, or for sale by owner, where you can sell to an investor. And, you know, there's also a lot of investors here in the area that you can work with. Moving forward, you know, wishing you the best. Hope that as you go through that sale process, you're able to have all 3 questions answered. And yeah, good luck in the sales. If you have any questions, or if you do want to reach out to us, you can find us online, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, anywhere that you reach out to us. We'll be able to respond. We'll respond quickly. Look forward to talking to anybody. Thank you.